Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be covering some analysis and taking a look really what's happening between two coins that I really believe that you should pay attention to, and that's Aptos and Link. So Link right now is trading around $8, right? So $8 is trading at we're gonna take a look at the daily candles, the daily chart, and let's take a look and see really what's going on. So let's call that the support level is around 670 or so, between 670 and 650, right? So now if we're taking a look at the moving average, the 200 moving averages is a really good sign, specifically being that it shows that, well, I think you already know this, but it's already kind of in a bull market, and especially in the last like 4 days, it's seen some pretty good movement coming up as far as the green candles moving up and up and up, and this is what's going on. So it's actually really kind of rocketing at this moment, right? Like I said, it's trading around $8, and from the support level around six, which is actually a pretty good moment. Now, coming in. Now, where are we seeing the resistance now? What's happening right now? Where is that pushback coming in? That's coming back from November of 2022. Coming here, it's touching when it started to decline, but the major one is the support here that, well, was kind of going on. Now, what happened for it to really kind of go up? Where was that level that it started to actually push and start growing? Well, let me just grab and show you, right? So we have this moment back in the 23rd of January, something like that. 26th, I'm sorry, 27th, 26th, 27th of January, right here, was that acting resistance level, and it pushed it back down to support coming in February, 14th, 15th, and then it came in. So if that's acting as let's see if that's acting as the resistance level, it kind of broke in and pushed past that, and it started to gain momentum because it wasn't quite enough for it to uh, truly stop it. Now, what happened here? We have that moment, which is very small as far as the market structure goes to keep it from going up. And then we have this moment here back in November, the 29th of November, right? And it still moved past it. It just wasn't strong enough. And we had a couple little ones, but there weren't enough of a structure. Just one or two candles that just kind of got rejected and they started going down. That's not enough. And when you start to see multiple candles, if you don't know this or not, I hope to share this with you. But when you start to notice that there's multiple candles, three, four, and anything above like three or four candles that's getting rejected from this, that is a very strong market structure that you can really count on that there's going to be resistance later on in the future when it touches back on that point, pushing it down and fighting and start really kind of creating that range type motion with inside of the market. So this is where it's happening. But these, if you notice, there's just a couple. One, two, three, four. Now there's several of those, right? But the thing is they're not very strong individually by themselves. And well, because of that, it pushed on and it continued to push through. Now, what you're seeing in that same area, and again, remember, we're talking about the 25th of January here and in this moment. Now, when it started to come up, and this is where you're seeing now that market structure one, two, three, four, five, six, it's still getting that resistance, right? From that, but it's still growing. It's still maintaining that moment. Now, this is not typically a good sign when you see this star, right? This doji. But this one right here. Now, it started to move down, but it started to gain momentum back up. Now, there's around 18 hours left of the day, but it's still pushing over. And you can see when we just kind of zoom in for a moment, um, closer and closer. It's getting rejected a little bit, but nothing significant as of now. Now, what will happen once this pushes through? If, say, if the next daily candle really pushes over past that moment, then what you're going to see is a much stronger movement forward because you're not going to see anything else until around $9. So it is definitely, I definitely think it's going to touch $9 here in the next day or two, easily touch $9. Now, of course, that's not like a huge to the moon moment, but it's still growing. Because you have right here, you can see, and coming back, you have this one, you have this one, and you have this one. and that's where it's going to be, and that's around your $9, 9.20 area that you're going to see. So it's definitely going to touch that. Now, if, and I say if, it does move past this area, nothing is in its way, except for maybe 950 or so, but still not quite. I mean, it's not really going to be there too strong. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So, $10, you're going to see some resistance full on, right? You're going to see that without a doubt because you have the previous support level, and then you have the resistance level that's coming in over here. So that's going to kind of push on and move forward, and this is what's going to kind of see. But can you reach around $10? Yeah, you can probably expect that once we kind of get out of this one and we move around nine. And once we hit that $9, it's going to come in. And this, like I said, this is that area to really pay attention to. Let's just move that. So these right here is the next level after this, and I truly, truly believe. Jumping to the 4 hour mark, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea, are we going to reach outside of that? Yeah, we are. Look, you can see from the candle, right? That rejection coming in, that selling coming in, well, as you would typically with any resistance. But this candle's growing within the 4 hour mark. There's still around 2.5 hours or so that's coming in. So this is what you have from this moment. All right, so enough of chain. Let's talk about the other one, Aptos. I've already kind of made some moments here to kind of pay attention to. Trading around $14.20. It is going down in a bit of a downtrend right now, working its way back to the resistance level, and you can already see that resistance level is starting to bounce off of that, right? So you can see that it's bouncing off resistance, so sitting right on it. Now, this is a key moment. Now, looking at the daily mark, the key moment here is that uh, the next day or so, depending on how the well, really how the momentum candle is going to turn out, right? If it's going to be a little bit stronger, it's definitely time to start putting on alerts and paying attention because now we're going to be getting up to that trend line, and that convergence point is really going to be very significant. Now, it's nothing too strong like how if we had, for example, like right here, right? So it's nothing like what we have in this moment. Um, but this would be a very strong one. But if we come out, it's good to pay attention to this area, especially the momentum as you get up closer to that moment, right? Because when it does get closer to that trend line, and you have like one or two candles that are breaching that, especially the third is a good, I had a university professor tell me that once once you start reaching, you break past the trend line coming up, don't jump right into it, but actually pay attention to the three candles after that. So this two or three candles that are coming after that trend line break is going to tell you, is it going to reverse or is it going to continue up? And that's a good moment to pay attention to because it's going to confirm the market trend. What's it going to do? So now again, you're going to have some resistance coming up around 1626. I strongly believe it. Now, you have to think it's rather new since from October apt, so it's nothing too strong here to kind of go off of. So the all-time high here is around $18. If you say, well, if $20, honestly, okay, like let's count 20, but I'm saying where it actually normalized at. So not enough market structure, not enough history to really go too strong on it. So it's a good moment to really be paying attention to. If this next day it starts to really touch more to the bottom of resistance, kind of really coming down deeper, and the same thing that goes with the trend line with this resistance line, then what you're going to have is it's going to confirm that it's still going into a bear market, right? So this is something to pay attention to these two moments. So how is the next day going to happen? The next 2 days. So this is why I'm saying go ahead and set a couple of alerts for this if you're following along with apps, if you're trading app. But to go long inside of it, I can say that that's more of a 50-50 kind of thing, depending on what the next couple of days are going to say. Unless you typically go long anyways, and that's really what you're doing. A lot of people love to just trade in long. Some people love to trade in short. Some people are day trading. So it really depends on what your style of trading is, right? Now, I'm more of an opportunist. So being an opportunist meaning catching each moment and, well, reversing my trading strategy for maximum profit, right? So this is why I'm going off here. So pay attention to that, and we'll see what's going to be of that movement in the next couple of days. Now, if we want to, a little bit to confirm, drop down to the 4 hour mark. Now, the previous candles, the previous, what, 4, 8, 12 hours have been very bearish, and it's starting to turn. We still have about 2.5, and it's starting to move forward. So that's what I'm saying, that we really need to see a little bit more of the next 4, 8 hours, at least 8 hours, to see what we're doing here. But it's still too close to call, because technically, coming from our MAC, the EMA that we have, what, it's close at 9, right? So it's, well, it's a bear market, but again, they can quickly change. We've seen that before, very, very, very easily, right? So pay attention to that one. Taking a look at the market as a whole, Bitcoin's down 1.4%, Ethereum's down 0.9%. We have Solana is doing pretty good at 12.8% for the daily. We have TRX at up +3, AVAX is up 3.1, DOTS 2.4, Hex is up by 4.6. A lot of red, but also some good ones coming up in green. Link is up today, which we were just talking about, 1.5, but it's still working and coming up, so don't cut it off just yet. And let's see, Near Protocol is also for the day is up by 3.6%. So I like Near. I want to see good things from Near. But that's what we have for the market. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed, drop a comment, and I will catch you again next time.